All right, live stream should be starting up now, guys. What's going on? Here to break down the Showdown Slate Game 3 Eastern Conference Finals here, Bucks and Hawks. Super excited to talk about this one. So, if you guys are new to the live stream, welcome. My name's DK. What we'll do here is we'll take a look at what we know so far as injuries go, take a look at the Vegas odds, then I'll go team by team, talk about players I like, leave some time for questions at the end. So, starting off with what we know so far, Giannis was probable. Fully expected him to play. He's dealing with, I guess, a little bit of a calf injury. He's good to go. And Bogdanovic is into, again, both pieces of news we expected. Bogdan deal with that knee injury. He's been, obviously banged up and out himself, but he's been toughing it out. Vegas total, so it's a 224 over under, and the Bucks are 5-point favorites. So starting off, we'll start off on the Milwaukee side. Giannis, Middleton, Drew Holiday, the big three here. Giannis at 12K, Middleton 10K, Drew Holiday at 9.6. So there's enough value in the slate to get Giannis in there for sure. Game 1 he went for 70 fantasy points. Game 2 was on pace for about 70 fantasy points. So I don't really see an argument to fade Giannis unless you think he gets in some early foul trouble or something really weird happens. So if you do go that super contrarian route, as I always say, you play Middleton, Drew Holiday. But yeah, Giannis is definitely the safest play on the board here and probably your optimal play in the captain spot if you're playing a cash game lineup. No, Middleton, Drew Holiday, I mean, they're close enough in price. This one's really, it comes down to almost a coin flip for me. Middleton, back-to-back, not so good shooting games. He really shot poorly in Game 1, 6 of 23. Drew Holiday played really well Game 1 for 61 fantasy points. Was on pace for a really good Game 2. So Drew has played better this series. He's also a little bit cheaper. Maybe the smallest lean to Drew, but again, it really comes down to ownership, and I think Drew might be a little bit more popular based on those two recent games. Brook Lopez, Game 1, he got benched. Game 2, he played well. Probably would have played around 30 minutes if the game would have stayed competitive. We know he's a guy that can obviously knock down some threes. A decent rebounder, can block some shots. He had 1 block, 3 steals last game. A fair play in the mid-range, but it's a little bit tricky to prioritize him. Value options, Connaughton, Tucker, Portis, I think are all pretty safe. Connaughton and Tucker for the fact that they're going to play big minutes. Portis for the fact that he's a good point per minute guy. So 15, 18 minutes last couple games for Bobby Portis, 22 and 17 fantasy points. Got a good rebounder, obviously good scorer, can stuff the stat sheet. Tucker and Connaughton, not so much, but they should play big minutes. 26 in a blowout last game. Connaughton played 29 Game 1, 13 Game 2. Also, he had a little bit of foul trouble. I think we probably get around 25-ish minutes from Connaughton, 25 to 30, and probably 30-plus in PJ Tucker. I think that makes them both safer value options. And then again, Portis, another guy that I have interest in because he's not going to play as many minutes, but a really good point per minute guy. A couple other guys to mention here. Bryn Forbes, fine contrarian value play. 12 and 13 minutes last couple games. He has gotten 4 and 7 shot attempts up. He's super reliant on the scoring, so he's got to hit his shots to get fantasy value, but he should come in at pretty low ownership, and there's still a way where Bryn Forbes can be in the winning lineup tonight. And that's really it, unless you think this game turns into a massive blowout against Thanasis. Probably gets a minute or two for defensive purposes, but won't play really unless the game turns into a blowout. So on the Atlanta Hawks side, I guess real quick before we get into Atlanta, if you could, guys, if you're just coming in, hit that like button. It goes a long way. Helps me out a lot. Makes it so more people can watch my content. Every single like on the live stream allows, again, more viewers to see this. So let's move on to Atlanta. Trae Young at 11-2. I think you can make the argument to fade him tonight. The way you fade him, I think, is you think this game turns into a blowout like it did Game 2. If the Hawks keep competitive in this game, it's going to be a big game from Trae Young. So, yes, he's had a low floor. Yes, I know he had an awful game last game, 22. But he also put up 75 fantasy points Game 1. So the upside is there for him. I just think the floor is a little bit lower. I'm pretty high on Trae Young. Again, if the Hawks keep this game close, I think he is going to be a big reason why. Now, Collins versus Capella, I would give that to Collins. He's been much better so far in the playoffs. He's at 8.8K. I still don't love the price point. Would probably rather get to those other, secondary Bucks guys. But I think we get around 35-ish minutes from John Collins. A good rebounder. Should get closer to double-double. Fair play. And then Capella, just more of a contrarian play. Was really bad Game 2, but had a nice ceiling game in Game 1. I would give that to Collins over Capella. The wings, Herter, Bogdanovic, Gallinari, they're just all kind of... Herter just feels still a little bit too pricey. I know there's 240 fantasy point games, but the floor is also pretty low with him. Again, he's too close in price for me to Drew and Middleton for me to get excited there about Herter. Bogdanovic, the knee injury really is bothering me. it's bothering him, and it's bothering me for trying to get to Bogdanovich. It's just, again, he doesn't look himself at all out there, so I'm probably going to pass on Bogdanovich. Gallinari at 5'6" is the cheapest of these wings. I think we get around 25-ish minutes from him in regulation, which makes him playable. Definitely a guy that obviously can knock down some shots, so I think he's the most playable of those wings because he's the cheapest. No real interest in Cam Reddish. Played mostly because of the blowout last game, so I'm probably not going to get the Cam Reddish there at 5K. Lou Williams at 1.8K. We kind of know his role. 10 to 15 minutes off the bench, a high usage guy, definitely in play because he's really, really cheap. And last guy I'll mention here, Solomon Hill at 1.2K, 20-18 minutes, first couple games so far in this series. Not a good point per guy at all, but should be out there for his defense. I think a fair value play because of the minutes that he'll probably play in the price of the fact that he's like basically min price. Okongo might get, 5 to 8 minutes. He's the better point per guy of the two. If you want to go a Congo over a Hill of like the 1K guys to differentiate yourself, doable. But again, Solomon Hill will be out there for a lot more minutes, most likely. So that's kind of it for the breakdown, guys. Player by player breakdown. Throw some questions in the chat, and then, let's do it. So where we're at right now, guys, 137 viewers, 36 likes. If you could, again, hit that like button. Let's try to maybe get to 60 likes before I get out of here. I'll be live for another just over 10 minutes here. Bucks -4 looking juicy. Yeah, that looks pretty solid. I will agree. Giannis 82% owned DK. I think he'll be higher than that, at least for DraftKings. I think he'll be 95%. Thoughts on Reddish? Not for me. Got there. Here, I'll go to. Let me go to Popcorn Machine. Kind of show you the game flow here of where he got his minutes. So Cam Reddish, he played a little bit to end the second quarter, and then basically played the entire fourth quarter in garbage time. So, yeah, maybe he plays like 10-ish minutes, 10 to 12 minutes or so in if the game stays competitive. But I'm still going to pass on Reddish for now, based on what we saw the last game. So, yeah, probably not for me. Terrence Mann, Capella, or Connaughton, Aiden for the 2-gamer? That's a good question. I would rather have the second one. Is PJ Tucker a captain okay? That's contrarian, but he should play over 30 minutes. And it's kind of like, what does he allow you to get in there? So it's doable, for sure. Wouldn't go there for cash games, that's for sure. Favorite non-star captain? So none of like the top guys. I'll say Bobby Portis. Middleton or Drew, price doesn't matter. See, it's really a coin flip for me. I guess if I had to pick Drew Holiday, but that's not a strong take at all. Yes, I do think Capella's going to be low owned. The reason he's going to be low owned is that last game where he went for 11 fantasy points. Now, I do think that he has a better chance of succeeding in this match against Milwaukee, but it's just the price. He's not. I would wish he was a little bit cheaper. He's more playable on the 2-gamer than on the Showdown. Showdown, he's just too close to Collins, too close to Drew and Middleton in price for me to get there. So, yes, he's going to be low-owned. No, I mean, it allows you to get the 4 stars in there if you go that route. Jordan Nwora love a small blowout. So, depends how big of a blowout it is. Because if it's like a 20-point game in the fourth quarter, some of the starters will still play, the first part of that quarter. If it's like a 40-point game, then that's where we're going to see that at the bench. So if you think it turns into a massive blowout, then yeah, I'm good. Jordan Nwora, he's actually a high usage guy. When all the kind of the end of the bench guys are out there, we saw it for the Bucks when they would rest a bunch of guys, and we had a couple games in the regular season where they rested like everyone. It was kind of Jordan Nwora and Thonsis that we really wanted. So I'm good going there if you think it's going to be a massive blowout, but that's the only way he's playable. Favorite captain, Giannis. Yeah. I think it's going to be close. I'm hoping for a close game. Yeah. Young, clear captain. Yeah, I think Young's going to be a lot lower owned than Giannis, and I think he has similar upside. However, he does have a much lower floor. Portis or PJ Tucker, price doesn't matter. That's a good question. So I will say Tucker might be the slightly safer option because of the minutes. But I'll go Bobby Portis. Yeah. Matthew, $15 super chat. Thank you, man. Dude, that was not necessary at all. Just the comment, GOAT. No, you are the GOAT, man. Thank you. Wow, really, really generous of you. Again, you did not have to do that, but I really appreciate it. Trae Young is clearly the captain, and don't go anywhere else, folks. I'm completely good with Trae Young and the captain. Yeah. Again, optimal build-wise, it's definitely Giannis, and it's just because he has the combination of the high floor, high ceiling. Trae Young has a high ceiling. He does have a little bit, definitely a lower floor. So again, cash games, you put Giannis in the captain, but tournaments, I like Trae on the captain. Fade Middleton. Yeah, with Middleton, Drew Holiday, it's pretty close. Pretty close to those two guys. Middleton, he goes in stretches, right? He'll have a couple games in a row, shoot really bad. A couple games will get hot. Both Drew and Middleton have similar upside, and both have a somewhat low floor too if they're not hitting shots. Lou Williams or Forbes? Yeah, that's a good question. Small lean to Lou Williams. Yeah, he's playable, right? 10 to 15 minutes. He's a good scorer. So yeah, he's in play. I'd rather have Lou than Okongo. Yeah. More minutes for Reddish tonight, did decent extended minutes last game. Again, my only issue is he did decent, but it was mainly in a blowout, right? He didn't play until the end of the second quarter, where he played just under 5 minutes, and then he came in garbage time and played the rest of the game. So, like, is there a chance that Cam Reddish plays like 15 to 20 minutes in a close game? I think it's possible, but I'm not going to go there yet. And plus, it's not like he's super cheap, right? He's $5K. If Cam Reddish was like $3K, I would be willing to roll the dice and just hope the minutes were there. $5K, after just seeing basically just under 5 minutes in the first half of a competitive game, not enough for me to go there yet. No animals for me yet. DK, do you think they'll limit Giannis a little with that injury? Like, who's the backup to Giannis? I don't. No. I mean, backup to Giannis, Bobby Portis. They actually played a couple minutes of Portis alongside Brook Lopez. What was that? Game 1 or Game 2? It might have been Game 1. I saw a little bit of Portis in there with Lopez, which you rarely see. But yeah, Giannis doesn't really have a direct backup. I would say like Tucker, can get some run for him. Connaughton, Portis, maybe a little bit. Brolo and Solomon Hill, or Gallo and Lou Williams? That's a good question, Matthew. I'm going to go the second one. Tucker and Portis in the same lineup? I like it. Yeah, I don't really think they affect each other too much. Tucker, obviously more of his defense, should play about 30 minutes. Portis, backup center, usually around 15. Good point per minute guy. Diakati season. Yeah, I mean, those are guys, if it's a blowout, you guys know I'll be playing the fourth quarter showdown slate for sure. Yeah, Solomon Hill is in play. He's going to be decently popular because he's played about 20 minutes last couple games. He's really cheap. He allows you to get more stars in there. Stars and scrubs, 2-game slate. Let's see. So you got Trey, Connaughton, Tucker, Giannis, Zubac, George, Portis, mid-price guy. Okay. Yes, and I would go Solomon Hill there with the mid-price guys. Torrey Craig got a DNP last game. Nader barely played. I would play Solomon Hill if I'm going to play one of those guys. I don't care. Middleton is still a good play. Yeah, so like Middleton's probably going to come in a little bit lower ownership. Wow, Dominique with a $20 super chat. Thank you, man. Let's get it tonight. Let's have a good night. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Wow, you guys, again, super chat's not necessary at all. So thanks a lot. That was very, very, very nice of you. And let me know if you have any other questions. Lou Williams or Solomon Hill? Small lean to Lou, but it's pretty close. Right? Solomon Hill should play more, even though he's a worse point per minute guy. Pretty close there. Herder tonight taking risks. Yeah, I mean, Herder's going to be low owned. And he's actually had an upside, so I'm not saying he's out of play. I just don't know if I'm going to go there tonight. Beverly, Booker, I wouldn't play Booker in the 2-gamer. Not with the way with Chris Paul in the lineup, he just has a pretty low floor, so I don't think I would play Booker in the 2-gamer. You think the Bucks' big three viable in the same lineup? Yes. We saw it last slate, right? When it was a blowout, I'm pretty sure the Bucks' big three was in there. So if you think this game turns into a blowout, you just go Giannis, Drew, Middleton, and then value. Thoughts on trade captains, Giannis, Drew, Pat, Portis, and Tucker? I like it. Trey and the captain, probably make sure your lineup a little bit different. I mean, obviously people are going to have that because your 3 value plays, Patsy, Portis, Tucker, are all going to be pretty popular. But I think it looks pretty good. Capella and Hill or Gallinari and Portis. I would rather have Gallinari and Portis. Bledsoe lock. Giannis or Trey at captain. Depends what you're playing. Both are obviously in play for tournaments. Cash games, definitely Giannis. Like if you're trying to build an optimal lineup, it's 100% Giannis in the captain. Drew Holiday, Mann, and Tucker or Beverly, Bridges, and Ayton for the 2-gamer. Good question. Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go the first one because I think Ayton's gonna be a little bit overowned in the 2-gamer after the last game. Is it bad to play both Lopez and Portis? No, you can definitely do it. Obviously, most of the time they're not gonna be on the court together, and we saw it at game 1 a little bit. They put a couple minutes together, but Lopez, I would think, unless he gets completely burned in the defensive end, gets around 30 minutes, and Portis probably around 15. So you can play both together. Capella or Herter? Capella. Lou Williams or Forbes, small lean to Lou, but not a strong take. I mean, both are pretty similar. I think Lou Williams is a slightly better point per guy between the two. Captain Trey, then Giannis, Capella, Tucker, Portis, Gallinari. You'll have a different lineup for sure. Capella's going to be pretty low owned, so it's contrarian. Cam Reddish or Pat Connaughton. Again, Cam Reddish played mostly in the blowout. You never know. He played just under 5 minutes in the first half. Is there a chance he plays more in this game if the game's as competitive? That's possible, but I'm not willing to go there yet. Tucker captain, Giannis, Trey, Chris Middleton. Okay, so you're going the value in the captain, then just jam in the top guys. Viable for sure. Bogdan playing big minutes? I would say probably not. Even in competitive games, he's not been playing big minutes, so I would think he gets around mid-20s. Thoughts on Portis captain, Giannis, Gallo, Brook Lopez, Middleton, and Trey Young? Definitely have a different lineup, yeah. But again, Portis is a cheap captain. I think it's certainly doable. Yeah, I don't think Bogdan's going to play like his 35 to 40 minutes like he was earlier in the playoffs. Giannis with Middleton, Capella, Collins, Portis, and Hill. Yeah, so Capella in your lineup will make it different. Again, I don't love the Capella play. You are fading Trey Young in that lineup too. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't play that lineup, but you're click and submit. So if you're really confident with that one, I'm not going to talk you off it, but it's not a lineup I would probably go with. Captain Holiday with Giannis, Trey, Middleton, Solomon Hill, and Okongo. Okay, so you do have 4 stars with one of them the captain, then 2 kind of punt plays. That does make some sense. I kind of like that. If Solomon Hill and Okongo can get you like 10 each, you're going to be in good shape. Because then you have all stars in there with one of them the captain. I think that looks like a pretty good lineup. I like it. Okay, so we'll be on for another minute or so. So any last minute questions, throw them in here. Do we have starters yet? Let's see. Young, Bogdanovich, Herter, Collins, Capella. Okay, with Holiday, Middleton, Giannis, Tucker, and Lopez. All right, so same starters. Nothing crazy here. But yeah, the lads, I kind of like that lineup. I'm not playing it, but I think it looks pretty good. So you have 4 stars in there with one of them the captain and just 2 punt plays. All right, guys, anything else? Last minute questions or anything? Appreciate all the super chats as well. Portis and Capella or Middleton and Hill. Depends what the rest of your lineup looks like. Do you have Giannis or Drew? Like, it's kind of hard to... Like, straight up, it's probably Middleton. The Middleton one, because Middleton, I think, has a lot of upside. But, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say without looking at the rest of your lineup. Trey, captain, Giannis, Middleton, Lopez, Portis, Lou. What's the cheapest player you would play? You have Okongo and Solomon Hill, basically at 1K. So those are two playable guys. I'd rather have Solomon Hill because I think he plays more. Captain Giannis, Holiday, Middleton, Trey. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That looks great. Lure Reddish. So I'm not really looking to Reddish on this slate yet because we haven't seen big minutes from him in a close game. He got extended because of the blowout last game. So Reddish is like 5K. Lou Williams is like 2K. So point per dollar, just give me, again, I'm not really looking to Reddish. Yeah, you have Giannis and Drew. Okay, then if you have Giannis and Drew, then I think I would go the Capella one. Keep up the good work. Happy you're doing this full time now. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you. How many DK points we need from Portis or captain? I would say around 20. Yeah, around 20. I would rather play Portis over Tucker than the captain. Yep. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for everyone coming to check out the stream. Thank you to everyone who hit that like button. And thank you for all the super chatters as well. Super generous for you guys. I'll be back here tomorrow, as always. So good luck. Enjoy this game. I'll see you guys tomorrow.